I was a lot of their first, being their first plus size curvy model.
You couldn't let anyone know the things that you were going through, whatever you shared.
The Bible says, but the God of all grace, hallelujah, and after you suffered a while, how many have
choice to write your own story? Would you write it, or would you let someone else have the pen?
Hey, welcome to another segment of Early Morning Coffee with me and my BFF vibe, where we give a voice to the voiceless and we let you say what is on your mind. Good morning, everybody. I'm tired. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm tired. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. Thank God for life, though. Thank God for health and thank God for strength. Well, of course, I got my little cup of coffee. I'm still waiting for my sister to send me my other one, Chanel. But right now, I'm still drinking on this Starbucks grated. I grated it up. I actually went to Walmart and bought me one of them graters and grated all my little coffee up, and I got some original creamer and some sweet and low, and I'm throwing down because I need this coffee this morning. What about you, BFF? What's going on with you on your side?
Ooh. Well, this morning I'm kind of running behind. I'm scraggling, look, not straggling, scraggling, trying to get it together. I'm always late these days. I think I've been a late person my whole life, and and I had made some improvement. Seem like I'm backsliding. Seem like I'm backsliding. So I gotta get it together because, like I said, behind the scenes, I'm running at the last minute. Like, ooh, let me grab my cup of coffee and hot flashes and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm gonna join that club that I saw on online that lady on TikTok, and I am loving her. She on TikTok and Facebook, and it's called the We Do Not Care Club, and that is for people that's in menopause and premenopause. And I'm gonna tell you something, babe. I'm at a point where I don't care.
I get it, man. I'm there too, man. I'm starting to. It's not that I don't care. I'm starting to really do a lot of boundaries and soul searching and understanding more about Marvina. It's not that I really don't care about things. It's just a lot of stuff that I used to care about don't even really matter to me.
Not as important, yeah.
Not as important.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yep, I get it. We was going to do a public announcement. I really like for my BFF to do a public announcement, but I got to say this to anyone that's out here. We need to realize that we need to start going to the doctors and look at ourselves and stop putting stuff on the back burner. If we see that there's something wrong, and I'm learning this today, and like I said, I'm tired. I'm tired because I'm tired right now because my baby, my young man was diagnosed with a cancer scare. And I've been at the hospital with him for the last 2 days trying to figure out life. And, it's very important to pay attention to signs and before it gets so out of hand, and I believe my son knew signs before it even happened, and he decided not to do the right thing by going to the emergency room or going to the doctors and things like that. And then the results is where we at today. Our body tells us there's a problem. Whether if you're getting a lot of headaches or like for him, his legs and stuff started blowing up and he's getting swelling and your eyes turning different colors or you coughing a lot or you having pains in your arms and things ain't right. Those are signs. Your body's like a machine. It's telling you that something is not working right.
Yeah.
There's something going on. Y'all
I
really
agree.
don't understand. Even stress. When you're stressing out, you wondering why you got a backache. Your back is kitting, your back hurting and stuff. Stress does that to you. And you
Yeah.
may not take things seriously, but today I'm taking things more serious than I have ever, in my entire life. This right here, what my son is going through, is a wake up call for me. As a mom, when you can't, something happens to you or to your children, and you can't do anything about it. It makes you feel so helpless. And for the past 2 days, that's how I felt. I'm feeling helpless. Like I want to help. I want to be there for him and do what needs to get done to take care of him, but I can't. So
Okay.
and you need to know that it's not hard. It's not easy out here. It's not easy out here because after anything happened to you, now you got to worry about bills and things like that. So if you get some signs, something happened,
It's a
you
whole
feel
process.
like, yeah, it's a process.
Yeah.
Start going to the hospital. Start paying attention
Yeah.
to your body.
And you kind of touch base on, because I was going to talk about something else. And I'm gonna just say this briefly. People, when I say the political climate is changing and that you guys need to be more aware, you guys need to look up the segregation bill that the Republican House is looking into. So stay
Yeah.
on, stay on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel. Stay alert and pay attention. And and everything is not where we need to just sit down and let other people handle it. We need to start stepping up to the plate and handling things because these are policies and changes that will affect us all the way across the board. Now, going back to what Marvina said, I was going to talk more about what I just said, but it is on my heart. About this, about what she said about awareness. Go to the doctor. This is my second nephew that that we're dealing with. I had one that had this huge lump on his shoulder that grew like to the size of over the size of a grapefruit, and he was just afraid to take and say anything. And then, like you said, with my big baby, um, I think it was more so a thing of not enough awareness and fear. And for whatever reason, our young men are afraid to say that there is something going on with their bodies. I see more females that are quick to say, well, let me go to the doctor and get this checked out. But men, I don't know what it is about men, especially our young men. And so I think that that is something that we've got to start to teach them that if you were not born into this world with this lump, go to the doctor. If something is different, like Marvina said, headaches, you know, something with your growing, something with your toe. I don't care if your toenail gets a spot on it. If you know that that spot was not there before, that is something that needs to be looked into. Stop worrying and stressing about I don't have the insurance to go because I think that's more so a male thing about the money. But I want you to think about it like this: if you don't go and things get worse, and then something occurs, you talking even more money. So that little money up front, it's so many programs and plans out here that will help you, but the best thing that we can say is awareness, 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 and go get checked. Go find out what is going on. So we talk a lot about that. Marvina is quick to tell you guys about how if one thing is wrong with me, I am going to the doctor. I do not play. I am going. And so I want to drive that, stress that to the people that's listening, people that will take and view this. I'm going to have a conversation. I talked to my sons yesterday, talked to my daughter, just like if this is occurring, please, please, please go and get checked.
Yeah, like she said.
and
Hey
good morning,
Sarah,
Sarah.
good
Good morning,
morning,
Chanel.
Sarah. And hey
And
Mel, you get ready, baby.
yeah,
Your
and
turn.
it's something quick that I do want to say to you, Marvina. I love you dearly, and I've been through something similar with one nephew, but I cannot sit here and say that I know what you're feeling and what you're going through, because it's an individual journey, if that makes sense. But what I can tell you is that I am here. I'm not going anywhere. We all need a village. And hell, if I have to stand here and be the damn village myself, the gatekeeper, the fortress, the whole 9 yards, I'm here. You know that I'm here. So I'm not going to make that mistake and say, "Girl, you right. Oh, I know what you're going through. Or I understand," because I don't. I don't. But I am sympathetic and empathetic to it, and I am here. So
I
just wanted to say
appreciate
that.
you, BFF, and we definitely got a village. I one thing I had to do was step out of my comfort zone because I'm that type of person. I don't really talk about it. I will keep everything in, but this one I had to. I was calling the village. I calling everybody, sister, brother, cousin, aunties, people that I ain't spoke to in years. We
That's
need
right.
some prayer in here, and I need y'all. I need y'all because I need my prayer warriors and. I got it, and I was grateful. I'm grateful for that because everybody is coming together to, because this one hits different. If you don't know my middle son, he's one of the ones that you'll never have issues with. He's one of the ones I ain't never had to go to school. He always was on the honor roll. He was on the
My
bed.
big baby.
I mean, even when he was born, I used to have to guess when he was hungry because he never was a problem. Never. I mean, when I say never. I think out of the whole time that I raised him, he got a spanking one time. One time because he ate up all the they went and they was selling, was it cookies?
Don't be telling my baby's
Yeah, they was
stories. It's
selling some
a
candy.
quiet
He ate up
storm.
all the candy. He ate all and I had to pay for it.
Ah!
Well, I didn't eat it, Mom. Yes, you did. We found the candy all up under his back. And we thank
Oh,
God for my baby. I just asked him for prayers, because we know prayers of the righteous prevails much. And,
yes.
I love my baby and I'm not giving up on him. It's treatable. So we're going to go ahead on and move on to this next guest because we'll talk all day about him and I love him.
Yeah.
Mara, if you're out there listening, mommy love you. I'll see you on
And
tomorrow. I got to work today, but I will be there tomorrow. Love you, baby. Now, let's go ahead on and move on to my guest because we went over time. I'm sorry, guest.
It's all right. It's all right.
I love this lady right here. I met her again. Well, I ain't even gonna tell y'all. Let me just put the introduction up and then let me let her talk about it. Here we go. Here we go.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, good morning, good morning. This is my other BF, y'all. I got a BF. I got BFs. I got BFFs. I got BFFs. This is my BF, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. You're always a surprise. That is my relationship to Marvina from the beginning. Just a surprise.
Girl, I love you so much. Ever since I met you, ever since we became friends, let me just not go on into that because
No, I think you should tell your story because that
before we get to the story part, I just need to know what's in you. Got a cup of something. Tell me what
Oh
you
yes. I had big dreams of making some, perimenopause smoothie or something. right? But you know what I ended up with is just a cup of black coffee because there comes a point it's simple.
Well, let me tell y'all, she wants me to empty up the bag because it's me and her bag. It's not just her bag on this part. Of course, again, in the bathroom at the airport, this young lady just came in and I'm around doing my thing like I always do, prancing around, cleaning up. Welcome in! You know, I and she looked over at me and I'm cleaning up and I seen her staring at me through the mirror. I seen you. And I looked over at her like, you know, this is my house. When I'm in here and I for 8 hours, this is my house. I clean. I make sure everybody's good. I stock. I want everybody to feel good when they walk into my bathroom. And this lady was standing there and she said, "What is this I see?" I looked over, I'm like, huh? What is this? It's something more to this. I'm like, huh? I said, so you doing, I know you got something else going on. So I kind of told her about what's in the bag. And I found out, you know, some few things at that moment. And that's how it all began. It started right there. We exchanged information and now here we are. So I'm going to ask you a question, ma'am. What's in your bag, girl? What's in the bag?
I feel like when you say that, my bag is like it's like this sort of this like velvet bag, and stuff just is flying in and out and in and out and in and out, you know. And it is my space, like kind of like you said, where you host people, and so I'm really listening to what's going on, what you all were talking about in the introduction. And so that's like taking up a lot of space, and also what you're saying here. And yeah, our meeting in the bathroom was really it's really emblematic of sort of what happens to me, where I walk around, I hear people, I notice people. You weren't talking to me, but I was watching how you were interacting with people, and I'm like, what's up with this one? Like, this is real, What I saw is like, this is not a performance. People who are like greeters, they're like, hi, it's a performance, right? What I saw is like, this is not a performance. There is energy coming from somewhere. Like, this woman is tapped into something, and this is like raw, like this is real. And it was so stunning. And I guess all your listeners know your energy, right? They see you moving from your vulnerability to your expression, to your love, to your faith. And so, yeah, I stuck around for a little bit doing whatever I was doing. I didn't know you were watching me in the mirror, but you're observant, right? And then I was like, I have to go up to this woman and be like, and just genuinely ask, like, what? Where are you getting this from? Like, who are you? I think so. I said to you, I was just like, who are you? Like, what? Because I feel like what I do, this topic is bringing out the best in each other, but it starts with listening to someone and noticing them and believing them, which is related to everything you were talking about before, where I'm noticing you and I'm seeing like there's a presence, there's something going on with you. And I was genuinely like a child curious, they've never seen something and they go up to it and they're just like, what is this? Why is your hair? I was like a little kid. I'm just like, I have not seen this. And so with my hands and everything in your face, like, and it still didn't quite make sense. I was like, okay, she has a podcast. That makes sense. Okay, this woman needs a voice or whatever. But I was like, there's also more here that is a little bit incongruent with the bathroom stage. Or maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. It just was like this, the presence of you, the voice of you, the impact of you. It felt like it's much bigger than this space right here. And so that's why I reached out to you and I was like, do you want to, you said something about, I don't remember what you said. You gave the tiniest little hint that you wanted something next, or there was a next chapter, or there was a next stage, or something you said. And that's what I feel like we go around as people with these little offers like in front of us. We say that little thing that we want someone to hear, and we're trying to hear it ourselves. With you, it came out very sweet, just like a longing, or like an acknowledgement, or like you were feeling that sort of like you were feeling that sort of fullness that there's something more. And so then I offered like, hey, let's listen. Can I don't remember how exactly this happened, but I basically offered to like, let's have a conversation so I
Yeah.
can listen you out,
Yeah.
um, and hear what that is, and kind of put some like support underneath that thing that wants to be heard, that wants to be listened to, and that maybe you couldn't quite see, because we need each other to see something. Because when it's inside of ourselves, it's all like it's all and this isn't I realize some of this is just audio, and here I am making all these hand gestures. But when when something's inside of us, it's like inside of a plate of spaghetti, it's all wound into our stuff. So imagine there's that one strand that's really different, that really now I'm imagining a spaghetti strand that wants to be heard, like it's trying to be heard, this one thing, right? But it's trapped in a pile of spaghetti inside your brain. And so what I do, and what I help other people do, is listen for that, and acknowledge that, and trust the other person, and just it's going to happen naturally. It's going to come out. I've never created such a disgusting metaphor for this, but now I have. Here we are. It wasn't like that. Let me start over. Different metaphor. But I really believe that people naturally want to make a difference. They want to connect. They want to support each other. It's like a force that's in us, and there's just stuff that can get in the way.
Yeah.
So our job is not to like go in there and grab stuff and move it out of the way. It's not to advise. It's not to push. It's to trust.
Yeah.
And to trust that person, and to help and believe them, and like really put that that sort of wind, or that support underneath the belief in them. And that's all I did with you, Mari. I listened to what was true, and I kept acknowledging what was true, and then you shifted, because that thing that mattered to you got some breathing room, it got some space, it got to be heard, and then it came into focus for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my impression. You could share what happens for you.
Yeah. Well, it was, the connection. I mean, you see me. That's what I love. It wasn't, and I feel that this is a good way of saying life coach. You're a coach, but you're more of a life coach, because I feel like you seen me, and everybody don't see you. They see what you can do for them, but they don't see you. And for our conversation, because it came from talking about what's in the bag, and her coming on to, give me a call back, because I think we got to talk. What'd you say? We're going to do a meeting. I want to talk to you more. And she's seen me. And my question to you, I know we're not at Q&A right now, but what makes you kind of see a person? Because you've seen me. And that right there kind of made me more migrate towards wanting to talk to you more than just conversation that I normally have with anybody.
Yeah. I don't know if I have an answer directly, but we can work our way towards it a bit. Because I think maybe it is almost a childlike quality, where you just trust that this person in front of you is a miracle. They make sense. And I think it's almost like that curiosity, like it's almost the not knowing allows the seeing, like the humility of knowing that you don't know this person. And for me, it's like the joyful curiosity of not knowing this person that creates this open space.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I think originally, like life story wise, I think always had that. I was a very curious kid. I grew up in the country and didn't have a lot of other people to keep me amused. So I would just do things to keep myself amused, and things that like now as a parent, I'm like, like, what is lucky I'm here, right? But I remember, like I used to play this game with myself way out in the country where I would blindfold myself and I would walk through the woods and
Wow.
just feel my way through. And I would just keep the blindfold on for as long as I could, sort of stay calm and do that. And then eventually I would take the blindfold off and have to figure out how to find my way home.
Oh my God.
But it was, because that was a way to, I guess, it was a way to stay in that wonder. It was a way to stay in that curiosity. Like my dad was a biological scientist. And so he really, time with dad was really about turning over rocks and looking into things and supporting that curiosity. And time on my own, it was just a natural quality in me, right? It was a natural quality in me that I was supported in, and then I supported myself in by inventing games. But then it led to also, like, I mean, I think a lot of stuff is who we are, right? And then
Mhm.
the things that we build on.
Yeah.
And then it moved into, I was also a determined little kid, right? So my parents were drinking, fighting every night, this stuff was going on. And I was like a little kid, and I have memories of, like, they would say, we're not fighting, we're just discussing things. And I'm like, no, you're
No,
fighting. Like, this is not okay, right? And so I would, and so I was so determined to like help, like, you have to see what this is. So like you're saying with the cancer, with everything else, like, see it, like, believe it. And so I remember this is like whenever this was, 70s, 80s, I had a tape recorder, like an old fashioned one with a button,
yeah.
so like
Mhm.
I took that, and my bedroom was like, there was a dining room, and then there was a long hallway that went to my bedroom. So I would get sent to my room. So I got my tape recorder one night, and I go down the hallway, and I put the tape recorder right up the edge of the hallway, and I pushed record, because to record them, like, discussing, right?
Right.
And then the next day, I played it back to them. I'm like, this is not discussing.
Yeah.
And like, we could deal with anything, but we have to be honest about what's actually happening. But, as a kid, that didn't really, create a transformative experience for them. It created the reality of them going to the 1970s in the driveway.
Not being around you now.
That's right. And I have to admit, like, sometimes I have that effect on people. Like, if it's not done skillfully, people don't, really appreciate your, like, very active listening, right? Like, let me just show you.
Let me listen to you. Listen to yourself. I love it.
Yeah, no, that's not the way to do it, right? But as a kid, that's not really the way to do it. It's, as an adult, I have more resources, right? So what I did is, when I was a teenager, or maybe, in my early 20s, I grew up and I knew that I didn't know how to deal with conflict, because you can see my early experiments were not successful. Right? I also had a sister, and we would also protest my parents' fights. So we'd take cardboard boxes, and we'd fill the cardboard boxes with our stuffed animals. This might have been just me, but I got her involved too. So we would take these like cardboard box tops and fill them with our stuffed animals, and they use yarn to string them together in like a chain of cardboard boxes with with stuffed animals, and we'd get xylophone, the xylophones, a Fisher Price xylophone that
Yeah.
you pull it and it makes noise. Attach those to the chain too, so it'd make noise. And then we would protest. I made signs that said "Stop fighting," and I would protest my parents' fight and like march. Myself, my sister, and all of our stuffed animals were protesting like that our parents were fighting. Like, stop fighting! Stop fighting!
Oh wow! So you got a
Oh my
dog
goodness.
for a long time. And one of our viewers said that. But you got something you want to ask her before? Because I'm getting ready to go in. Go ahead.
So from an early age on, you kind of knew that this is something that you were going to do. Talk to people, basically like a resolution specialist. Help people dig deep down inside and pull out the best of them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a journey, right? And and it did start with that, with like seeing conflicts. This very affects you when you're a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I took that curiosity, and when I was in my 20s, I was like, I know that I don't know how to deal with conflict, right? Because
Mm.
I'm not, and I didn't want to live in this world feeling so powerless. And I knew I didn't know, which is a gift to know you don't know,
Yeah.
because then
Right.
you have the ability, once you have that information. So that's the information I had. And so then I went and became I found out that there are people who volunteered to mediate in courts, in like small claims court and family court. And they're volunteers. So I'm like, okay, these people must know how to deal with conflict. So I'm going to go get
Wow.
trained to be a volunteer, because they must know, one, they must know what they're doing, which I have no idea. Like
Right.
drink,
Mm-hmm.
divorce, die. That was like conflict resolution strategies in my
Right.
family, right?
Right.
Possibly in that order. And I knew they would know. They got training, and apparently the volunteers wanted to do this on purpose. Like it wasn't just something to avoid, it's something they found service in.
Right.
So I went and got trained, and then the process of that, then I did that as a bunch. I did that a bunch, and then I'm in those rooms watching people at like the hardest, one of the most hardest moments of their lives, right? They're separating their family, or they're like neighbors, in small claims court, right? And they're there because of this conflict. And like, well, the conflict, if you have conflict, it means people care, there's still caring in
Mm-hmm.
the room. If there's no conflict, the energy's gone, right?
Right.
I don't
Right.
need
Right.
conflict with, that's the farthest end of the spectrum. That's the worst place you can be. That means the conflict is escalated to the most extreme place. Like that's the alienation, the demonization. So if there's conflict, there's energy to work with,
Right.
right? Like I said, there's this force that people care, but it's like coming out crooked, right? It's coming
Mm-hmm.
out distorted, but
Mm.
there's something to work with. And that's what I would do as a mediator. And then eventually that led me to like feeling like, okay, I'm like being like a really good ambulance driver, right? I'm there at
Wow.
the crisis point, and it's not about me, and I'm helping people hear each other.
Wow.
But if people could have these same skills
Mm-hmm.
before it gets to this point,
Yeah.
maybe they wouldn't be at this point, right?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And so then that led me to say, okay, the heart of that is listening to each other. And the heart of listening to each other is believing that people make sense.
Yeah.
And so if
Mm-hmm.
something's coming out crooked, it means underneath that, somebody really cares about something. It may be coming out in a really unpleasant way. It may be coming out in a way that's hard to hear, right? It may be coming
Yeah.
out in a way that's an accusation, right? But underneath that is somebody cares about something. And so then I started teaching people just, okay, if I can isolate that core and just teach people how to listen to each other the way that I listen, and that just opens up worlds,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that shifted me to more of that realm. I had a long story, but
Well,
at this
I
point,
got
I
a
left
question
my work.
that show. So you said because now it's like a one-on-one thing, like with me. It's
Mm-hmm.
one-on-one. So I don't know what you've seen in me. I know you said there was something there you want to see. Is the conflict within did you see there may be a conflict in myself in what I was doing, or where you see that I should be. Because now we're talking about the person. We're talking to you, me, I'm talking to you. And when I talk to Erica, she listens. And even if it don't come out in her way, she'll categorize it and make it sound so good. I think sometimes I went to college, because it sounds so good. But is the conflict that you're seeing not with the two people, which is your mom and dad, with the conflict with the person in himself? Is that what makes you want to, make the best out of, to be there and help out with someone so they can see the best in themselves? Does that make sense? I hope that makes
Yeah, because we're telling this origin story about conflict, but it's the same essence, right? Like there's this desire for you that's in everybody to care, to support, to make a difference, to have an impact, to be of service. Like it's there. With you, it came out really directly. You're just like, I feel like there's something bigger for me, or I feel like you said something, right? And I'm listening for that like opening, because that means you're tapped in to that. You've got a little bit of that feeling. And so for you, it's like, oh, that's an easy thing to listen to. But for someone else, it might be like, the examples you were using earlier, like a health issue, there's some part of your body that's saying like, pay attention to me. There's something going on. This isn't, like you said, Yvonne, like this is new. This is not something it's like, it's this paying attention and bringing love and trust, whatever that is. And the biggest transformation happens when we bring that energy to the thing we most want to avoid. Like, what are we resisting, right? What's the thing that you most want to just sort of wall off? And I'm part of this too, right? And I've had relationships where it's like, okay, it's time for me to bring my flashlight, and like be that person who can stand there and look at that thing and say, okay, I set down my reaction and I'm genuinely going to be curious, right? What actually is going on? And that means going inside of someone else's world. Sometimes when I've taught listening, it's like, imagine each person's world is like their house and their home. And imagine the entryway of that person's house is like in the foyer, right? You've got a foyer or porch or whatever. It's like there's pictures of their family. There's maybe religious things from their religion. There's the mess of their house. It's set up, with what they care about, their values, their family, their caring, their past, their culture. So if you're going to be a guest in that person's space, that means you've got your house over here too. You've got that too. But for right now, you're going to say, I love you, home. I love you, my values, my caring, my opinions, my beliefs, my history, my everything I think is how the world should be. And I'm going to just temporarily leave my house and come and be inside of someone else's world. Okay. I'm a guest now. I'm going to listen. I'm going to acknowledge. Like there's something on your wall, if there's something that you're saying, I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to eat the food you're serving. I'm going to be a guest and appreciate you and know that behind everything, if you're serving me food, there's a whole history there that I don't know. So I'm going to say that. And if you behave that way, listening to someone else, not comparing to your food, not like trying to drag them over to your house. That's not what's happening right now, right? Not giving your opinion, not your judgment. You be in that space, then maybe you'll get invited a little bit deeper in that home.
Right.
And maybe they'll show you something that's really special to them. And you'll be humble enough and curious enough to understand, what's underneath that, right? And then maybe they'll share something that's more vulnerable that no one else has created that space for them to listen to. And it's staying in that space. It's having the capacity to stay in that space. And that's where like the miracles can happen.
Right.
We all want that support in being able to see what's true, because some stuff's pretty scary to see on our own. or some
Mhm.
stuff our own brain, like it's all immediately tangles up. But if you get listened to really well, it creates some space where it's like, no, 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 I hear you. Let's hear more from that part of you.
Mhm.
That's the foundation, right? So I don't remember the question, but
It's all good. We got some other stuff on here. Let's go. Shelly, thank you for what you said about me. Y'all
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah. I
Thank
do.
you,
I do.
Professor. I love
Yeah.
you. Thank you for that. And Shelly, she says right here, let's read this right here. There will never be an explanation on the theory for her God-given gift. Woo, there's no explanation because you just good. Being in
Mm.
tune allows her to see vividly any individual's needs and want and wounds.
And wounds. Mhm.
All right.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So that's very kind to say. And it's very kind to say, right? We all have that, right? We all have things like, who knows where this came from, right? Then my journey that started with this just curiosity, like as a child, and believing in people, then it led to, okay, can I teach other people how to do this thing that I just happen to do naturally, right? And we all have that, right? So we all have something like that. It's always easy for me, and people are like, it's not. So,
Yeah,
so
it's
then
not.
that led to me teaching people, like trying, like as I painted that picture to you verbally, but running workshops and things and traveling around the world and being like, can I teach? Is this a universal thing? I was curious about that. Is this just a Western thing? Is this just like a white lady thing? Or is this like, is this a something that transcends culture and place? So I went and taught this workshop that I created or kept iterating on about listening, right?
Mhm.
Then I reached sort of a limit with people. With some people, I could teach them how to sort of tolerate someone else's what's going on for them, but they would be like, "Okay, Marvin, I hear that you think," and they sort of like they had that
Right,
guard up, right?
right,
They weren't
right,
you can tell the difference, right? They
right.
weren't
Mhm.
putting
Mhm.
themselves into the eyes of someone else. They weren't really doing this amazing thing of seeing the world through someone else's eyes, which to me, like that's what I do. Like we have movies, right? We do this for entertainment,
Yeah,
right? We watch a
Mhm.
movie about someone, they might be a murderer, but like we're like, "Oh my god," and you see their
Right.
humanity. Like, we actually love doing this. People act like they don't
Mhm.
like listening to each other because they feel that tension of like they're not the same as me. But at
right,
the same time, we pay as a culture millions of dollars to do this, and form of entertainment. But you can do this all day long. You could do
right,
this in an airport bathroom, right?
right,
So
right,
Mhm.
so
right,
then I was
Right.
like, how do I teach? What is that skill set to teach people to bridge that gap so that they can do this and see the world through someone else's eyes, not
Mm.
at a distance? And that's what led me. I'm going to complete the arc here because that's what led me to theater. And I
right.
said, okay, theater teaches people how to do this. They train actors of how to do this and really do it.
Yeah,
And then I was like, okay, but in daily life, we need to be able to do this fast.
right.
Then that
Right.
led me to improv theater, improvisational theater, because that's where quickly you need to take the perspective of somebody
Mhm.
else. You need to make that character believable. You need to respond to completely new information like, hey, dad, sorry about the car. Like, okay, boom, now I'm a dad. Now there's a car. Now we have the car. Like, I got to get on board quick, right? And that led me to an amazing group of people that are part of this international network called the Applied Improvisation Network, where it's all
Mm.
people who are using improv theater skills and principles
Mhm.
in non-theatrical settings. So helping people
Wow.
deal all over the world, dealing like the Red Cross, helping people prepare for like if a disaster hits the community, how do we come together? How do we deal with what's true? How do we build together from there? Because
I love that.
that skill set is not just the individual listening, but it's also the faster you can listen and believe someone,
Mm-hmm,
then you've got that yes, like, yes, this is all that's true.
mm-hmm,
Then it's natural, the creativity of like, what do we do with this? Just
mm-hmm.
happens
Mhm.
from there. People think creativity is about being like thinking, they think it's about like the sort of pulling in new thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But what it's really about, the foundation, 90% of it is believing someone, being willing to be open and see what's true. Like
Mm-hmm.
spend more time there And then the solutions, the ideas, being on the same page, because now we're both looking at the same truth. We're like, okay, I see it. Maybe we're looking at different angles. Great, we've got more to work with. Then you're together. Then you can work. And so maybe I started off with sort of the life coach thing because I didn't know what I did. I'd ask people and they told me, like, oh, you're a coach. But now my work has moved on to, well, I do some of that, right? Well, freelancing in the
Yes, ma'am.
it's moved on to how do I help whole groups of people, teams, organizations, and at this point, coalitions, embody those skills, listen to each other like that, because that bring out the best in each other. It feels good not just to do that, but also to see the people you work with come into shine, and their creativity comes out and they make sense and that comes out. And everyone wants to be seen, not just for being skilled, but also as like being the best that they can.
Yeah.
So now I know we're almost out of time. So I'm just saying, if you take that same principle and you scale it up to a team, and then you scale it up to an organization, and then you scale it up to a coalition. Because a lot of my work now is with multi-stakeholder coalitions.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
a whole group of people across like the state who all are trying to end poverty or end, health problems or give people access to healthcare or transportation. That's a lot of different viewpoints, right? And a lot of people with lived experience and a lot of people to listen to.
Wow.
So it's just scaling up that same thing. So that's my passion. And then teaching people, how do you do that at the scale of a group and an organization, because that's how we're going to solve our biggest problems, is we have to listen and believe the life experience of everyone who's touched by this and everyone who cares, even if it's coming out as anger, is coming out as stereotype, is coming out as, can come out really ugly, but if you believe, like, underneath that, somebody's just screaming that they care about something and they want to be heard. And if you have ability to hear underneath that screaming, you care about family, you care about safety. You got to listen underneath that and hear, where's that really coming from? Because what's on the surface is just evidence. Underneath,
That's right.
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful. I love
Tara is in it. I'm sorry, Vaughn. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
what you're saying is powerful because Marvina said life coach. I'm listening to you and I'm saying spiritual enhancer. You really tap deep into the very core. And Shelley said something earlier about the essence, and I am big on the very essence of people, and you are digging deep down. And not only are you tapping into everyday people, to hear that it's being spread out into businesses and corporations, and that's how things grow, and it is growing into a movement. When you talk about the Red Cross and people like that, my hat is off to you, and I applaud you taking your gift and turning it into a beautiful present for other people.
Wow, man, I got so many people up here speaking. Hey, Auntie, I didn't know you was in here. Hey, Auntie. Tara, let me get Tara's out. Her presence and hearing it in her voice authentically, I always mess that up. With her energy, she makes me feel safe. That she won't, it's supposed to be just by listening to her in this moment. Yes, ma'am. Let me tell you something. This lady's awesome. I mean, she's gotten a lot out of me because she just listens. I love the fact we talk, and and we have sessions. I'll be like, I don't want to talk. I'm not gonna call you until the session. She's like, call me, call. Come on, please tell me. You're awesome, and I just want to. And my auntie, she got this long. Vaughn, you could go for this one. Go ahead, read it.
Auntie Debbie said, there's a reason for this season of bathroom breaks in your workplace, my niece. The connections are formulated between the visions and are definitely coming to life right in the restroom, right where nature calls. I'm beginning to look at this restroom concept from a totally different perspective because, first of all, life insists on the use of the restroom, and this particular restroom area is used from people all over the world. Who knows? who God may send to answer nature's call and open up more than just Lord, Auntie Debbie, more than just their legs, but also open up their minds to a calling they never expected. It's a creative connection where strangers with like minds meet, but not only meet, but make connections. I'm loving your job opportunities. It's much more than a bathroom, it's a restroom where souls
Amen.
connect.
Mm.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen. Thank you, Auntie.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
so true. So true. Go ahead, Vaughn. Got another
Yeah.
one. Come on with you.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to
Okay, go
Tara
ahead.
had
I didn't
part
see.
she had a part
Oh,
two
I didn't
to
see
what
that
she
one.
was
Go ahead.
saying. She said, and that's what we as humans want. We want to
Oh,
feel safe and don't want to be judged because of our failures, mistakes, or those things that happens to us, rather voluntary or involuntary. And when we have those people out there that truly care and truly listens to you and not just hear you, then you don't have to put on an outer mask and show your true inner mask. And then they feel safe at being their true and authentic self. And that is truly amazing.
yes. She's a life coach also. So she can kind of
Mhm.
identify where you coming from. Yep. This is another great life coach.
Yeah, yeah,
That's I mean, I'm so in awe about you, Erica. You know this is not gonna be our
yeah.
last. We got more sessions to go. So it's already 9:51 and I hate to have to pull you off because now I gotta go.
Yeah, well, Marvina came in like under the radar because I don't really, she just like I love the bathroom is your ministry. It is your station.
That's
I didn't
right.
even
I
imply that.
told you.
I totally agree. That kid's book, Everybody Poops. Like right. It is the uniter. Is the rest. Right. It is the space
Yeah.
of privacy, the
Mm.
space where it's humility. It is perfect space for that foundational listening. I just it was more like that energy that you have that you're bringing and that sort of sacredness, like how can more people tune into that? How can what's next for you? It's same thing that I would have when I was doing a lot of one-on-one coaching. I'm like, this is kind of behind closed doors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's only certain people that can access that, right? Physically, there's a number, and there's also like, paying for someone's time. There's only certain people have access to that. And I wanted my interest is in, this is core humanity, right? This is core capacity. And I like you said, Yvonne, it's like how giving anyone touch points into that and putting that and like helping them find that capacity in themselves. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess it brings it, I mean, and a way to start is like coming home to yourself, right? Because you're
Love
not
it.
going to listen to other people with that kind of love and trust if you're not like the hardest thing is sometimes listening to ourselves.
That's right.
And that thing
That's
that you
right.
want to avoid, that thing that you don't want to deal with, like right there is that's your dojo, right? That right there is where you bring, and I've done that in my life. I'm like, okay, where's this part that I'm not wanting to listen to? And I don't know what gifts are going to unfold there. Like I had a, marriage relationship, and I'm like, I don't want to listen. Everything else is going great. Like I don't this is I sealed this away and like I'll just be great over here. But I knew on principle, I'm like, no, this is affecting me. There's a gift in there, there's something. And it took years, to get out the flashlight and be like, all right, I'm here. Like I'm gonna face what there is. And I didn't go alone, right? I had a
Mm-hmm.
circle of people and I would imagine myself inside of a circle of people. I had a little
Yeah.
WhatsApp group, and I'm like, these are my people, these are my women, that I'm surrounded by, that I knew were supporting me.
Yeah.
And then the gifts that unfold from I could not see at that moment the benefit of doing this really, that much. But I knew that by doing it, there was more there. And then the gifts just unfold and unfold and unfold.
Mm.
I'm still the
Beautiful.
beneficiary of that. And my family is
I
so,
relate.
yeah. So that's, I mean, as far as like the to have this not be theoretical,
Right.
let's all take a moment of like, what's that thing that you're resisting hearing in yourself or in someone else?
Yeah.
That's the way to honor the truth of this, is to say, I'm going
That's
to
right.
listen to this person, I'm going to, set aside my own opinions, and I'm just going to say, okay, I don't get it. That's great. That's a great starting point. I don't get it. Why is this person so upset about this? Why is this so important to this person? You just ask them, what's important to you about this? Or looking at your own, making your appointment with your doctor and go, I don't get it. I've always been able to just go, go, go. And now my energy just tanks. What is going on?
Right.
So that's my question for each. So what do you think? What's your next thing to listen to?
Me?
I'll put you on the spot.
Yeah. Who you talking to? Me?
I'll talk to you first.
Oh, what's the next thing I'm listening to?
Yeah.
I didn't know we was in a session.
This is for everybody. People can add it in the chat,
The next thing I'm listening to is just paying attention to my intuition and my spirit. I find that more I'm in tune with what's going on with me and not trying to deal with the outside forces and work from inside out.
Okay, and I'm gonna know we have shown on time. So, what in a concrete way? How do you honor that? What supports that? Is there if I was a fly on the wall, or, if someone was just watching you tomorrow or later today, what would they see that is different or that shows that you're doing that?
Being alone and not being lonely. Just observing where I'm at. This is what we go through, y'all. So I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all gotta see it. Oh, if you was a fly on the wall, just to see me being able to be me and not worrying too much about what everybody else think about me. More of a self-love situation. I'm just putting that into the small time that we have because I know we got to get ready to go. So that's all I'm going to tell you.
I pushed you a little bit there. I'm sorry. I feel like I put you in the spot,
folks.
But I'll take it. How about this? I'll take your gift and I'll do it myself. And what I'll say for me, as a result of this conversation, to honor this, for me, what it is what you're saying. It would look like me, having my feet on the ground, taking a breath and wiggling my toes before I respond. So watching me, wiggling my toes, meaning you can see that it's like me putting my feet on the ground, taking a breath before I react and jump, and come from my house.
Right.
Just when my kid says something, when I get an email, when I feel that fear or that whatever it be, take a breath, feel my feet on the ground, remember the love of you women, and just, it takes courage, right?
Yeah.
And be okay, trust myself right now. Give a breath to give that space for the wisdom to come in, the insight to come in, instead of being in that reaction.
Yeah.
I know
I
could visualize that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vaughn.
Yeah, for me, it would be continuing to remember that my way is not the only way, because I know that was a big one for me. And then secondly is continuing to be slow to speak and quick to think. Those are those are the things. Those are the things for me.
All right. So what you see, Erica?
What do I see?
Yeah, because you just said me with the twinkle in the toes. What did you hear?
Wait, I don't understand the question. What?
Okay, so you kind of summed up what I was saying. What did you hear from what Yvonne just said?
I would say having someone else to share. I mean, this feels a little we're jumping quick, right? So things land when people actually work their way to them. So I was is there something there that you've worked your way to? Because for me to do a different change, it also involves someone else, having another person. So me, if I was, to do that would be having a buddy, on WhatsApp, and I just report my victories, maybe I give a name to that moment. Like you gave it twinkle toes. And then I would like report to my friend and be like, I did it. I did it. Even if it's just a 2-second thing, because that creates, I feel like we do the best when we are part of a team and when someone else is sharing in our victory, our vulnerability, someone else is, for me, that's super motivating because I'll show up for someone else, like whether that's getting sober, whether that's going to the gym. For me, it's about forming a little, like someone else who has a stake in it and that we're both getting sober together. That's how I got sober, I had someone else, they needed that. I said, do you want someone to do that? I did not intend to quit drinking right then, but I was like, I'll do it. He was just going to quit drinking for a month, you know? He was going to quit drinking for a month. I'm like, do you need a buddy? And I'm like, he's like, yep. I'm like, okay. And I like quit drinking with him, and it was annoying. But then
I love it.
I was not going to let him down, right? Because
Right.
his sobriety is at stake. It mattered. And then I ended up renewing that commitment with him for one more month. And then he wouldn't want to renew it again, but then I renewed it for myself. And then I just kept renewing it. And then I accidentally became, and then I'm like, well, here I am. What?
Girl, I love you. Tara, thank you, baby. She said this was much needed for me. Faith and trust, knowing that trust is the action that flows from faith. Yeah, I love that.
Faith, yes.
Let me let you go. We got to get out of here. It's after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
We will be talking again. I will be hitting you up soon because I really need to
Thank
talk.
you so much, Erica.
I love you, Erica. I appreciate you for doing this. I'm glad that you did, because a lot of us don't realize we're not really listening to anyone. We might be hearing things, but we're really not listening.
That's right.
And that's what I got out of it. You're a very good listener. You dissect things, and you see more of a light out of the darkness when you dissect them instead of the dark. Because see, when you shine a little light, it's not dark anymore. And I see that in you when you're speaking to me, you take my little darkness and shine a little light into it. And I love that about you. That's a person that sees me. And our little session one time was about being worthy. And I really excited to say that after I spoke to you, I wrote down worthy, I'm worthy. And I seen a whole lot of manifestations after that. Just realizing that I was worthy of the things that I thought that I wasn't. So like I said, you are a light. You're a light. I'm glad that my light shined with your light. And we're going to light up some more. As you said, we starting at the beginning, and you can't wait to see the end, what's going to happen. Well, you might as well get ready, because me and you going to I love you, girl.
And Erica, before you get out of here really quickly, how can people reach out to you? How can people find you?
I do have a website, and so you can go on there and find my email, my phone number, and
you got Erica.
A lot of my work now is working with these bigger coalitions in nonprofit, social justice kind of sectors, but I'm also at a place of transition, so it's also these, just if someone feels moved, they're like, hey, like I'm reaching out because I want it, like Marvina, just like, let's just have a little moment together. I'm
throwing up your Facebook page. Here's your Facebook page.
You're putting it all up there.
Erica at Erica Marx Coaching. That's her Facebook page. Also, she has a LinkedIn. If you want to go to LinkedIn, LinkedIn. We got a LinkedIn one right here. It's all Erica.
Some public workshops too.
Yes, they are her name. Basically, you can find her through her name. Her website also. She actually do have a website there. Here you go.
Erica Marx.
Her name. So y'all look on it. If you get it wrong, you can't get it wrong. It's her name and coaching. And also, she even have a number if you want to call her. You got a pencil and paper, write it on down. There you go. Let me tell you something. She's a gift. If you want to get deeper than just deep, she's very deep. She makes you see yourself and understand that you're important. She makes you. I know she made me feel important. I feel so important all the time. I speak to you.
And it's also about how to make it help other people. And it's the stuff I do with groups is all about it being fun too.
Yeah.
Because we're real deep right now and intimate, but when you're working with a group, you got to sort of create a space. That bigger space of listening often looks like people laughing, because if people can laugh together authentically, they can open up. And so and we do that a little bit and we do that too, right? It's like
We need to get us a woman group. Tara, and we got Yvonne.
Thank you, Tara.
We got Sarah, Shelly. We need to get us a little group and let's see how we can work this on a Zoom.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice.
With you and let you coach us a little bit and see how you work. And then after that, we'll start charging.
Well, that's true. Maybe that's the next step. It's just a little special thing for the people who are in your community.
Yes.
And we just have like a session, like a group call, and we listen to some people.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I'm just following a whim here. The podcast was the excuse to talk to you, Marvin, and I really feel like I was asked to. I saw you, and there was something to listen to you, and that's what this is about, primary.
Wow.
And yeah,
I love you.
Love it.
All right, girl. Let me let you get off of here. We'll be talking. Stay in the back. Don't go nowhere. Do not go nowhere. That means even when I put the in, do not go nowhere. That means no go nowhere. Okay.
Because we have people that just disappear. They be like,
be disappearing on us, yo.
Right here.
All right. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank everybody for coming on. Thanks for listening. This was special to me. I know it's probably was special to a lot of people now, because now y'all see that, you know what, there's people that are out here that actually see you and can love on you, and you don't even know them, because I met her in the bathroom. I didn't realize it was going to become a great relationship afterwards. Go ahead, BFF. Go ahead and start taking us out.
Hey, really quick before we go, I wanted to show you guys my shirt. Marvin and I are going to start putting these shirts out there for you guys, where you guys can purchase. We're going to put the price and everything out there for you guys to purchase. Just tell us your size and things of that nature. Help us to grow. Yeah. Now, with that being said, you guys already know about all our social media platforms. You know how you can contact us. We're already over time. But I do want to say this. Time is of the essence. Tomorrow's not promised to anyone.
No.
Pay attention to your bodies. Your body, when your body is talking to you, that is God's way of saying, knock, knock, knock. Hello. I need you to check this out. So please do that for us. Awareness. And with that being said, God woke us up tomorrow. What a beautiful, beautiful day it is. Every time he wakes us up, it is a new opportunity, a fresh start. With that being said, be blessed. Stay blessed. Love you guys so much.
We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for being a part. We get ready to get up out of here. I gotta go watch. Love you. Thank y'all so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And see you on next week Saturday.